Hola, bienvenidos a mi canal.
All of her videos are in Spanish.
Pues miren, estas sopas que voy a preparar hoy, pues voy a cocinar con mi suegra, con mi mamá y con mi madrina.
But that doesn't seem to stop any of Ana Raquel Hernandez's followers from watching.
Quedaron buenísimos.
As she prepares mouth-watering recipes for a worldwide audience, straight from the Central Valley farming community of Mendota.
Yo comencé a la edad de 7 años.
She tells me she's been cooking since she was 7 years old. In the span of 3 years, Hernandez has amassed a social media following that just about any celebrity would envy. 5.7 million on TikTok under Ana Raquel HZ. 1.5 million on Facebook, and 425,000 subscribers on YouTube under her page Cocinando con Raquel. Some videos with 16, 30, 37, and almost 40 million views.
Pues yo no lo creo tampoco.
She says, I don't believe it either.
Está bien pesado. A ver si no se va para allá.
On this day, she's making a molcajete, a bowl made from volcanic stone, filled with meats, cactus, cheese, and peppers. Her kitchen, a setup that she had her husband build in the backyard, with 3 wood-burning grills, just like her mother's in Mexico. Her youngest daughter and son looking on from a distance. Her older daughter, Crystal, records and edits the videos on her iPad.
My teachers were telling me about it, like, oh, we saw you in a video on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm like, people know her now.
Porque yo creo vieron mi entusiasmo.
She says, I think people like it because they see my enthusiasm. Hernandez says she would watch her kids record themselves dancing and eventually ask them to record her cooking for her personal Facebook page so she could share with friends.
Yo no tengo un recetario.
She says she doesn't have a recipe book. Nothing is written. Everything is committed to memory.
And I'm like, why don't you just post them on TikTok as well?
Her first dish she shared, enchiladas.
Y le digo yo un día a mi hija.
She tells me, I asked my daughter, how does this work? She just kept counting, 5,000, 10,000. She tells me, Mom, you've got more followers than me. Hernandez says she didn't even know what followers were, but she knew she was having fun.
Yo me puedo pasar horas en la cocina.
She says, I can spend hours in the kitchen and never get bored. Hernandez says she didn't like the time limits on TikTok, just 2 minutes back then, so she branched out to YouTube as well. It didn't take long to reach 100,000 subscribers. She's cooked everything from traditional Mexican dishes to pasta and even Chinese food.
Trabajaba en un mall.
She says, I used to work at a mall food court in Ventura. We would share recipes for what we cooked. Chinese, Italian. I learned a lot. And that diversity has translated into viewers from all over the world. Indonesia, Chile, Norway, even Russian. That comment, by the way, translates into, I want to try it. Her fans agree. Food transcends language.
Yo veo los videos de YouTube de verdad, los disfruto muchísimo. No digo...
She says, I have the most fun making the videos on YouTube. Evident on a recent trip to Mexico,
Amá, ya llegamos.
Where she posted from her hometown of Platanal, Michoacán, and her husband's native Guadalajara. Part cooking demonstration, part tourist video, meeting fans in markets, on the street, everywhere.
It was crazy the amount of people that knew her.
Pues muchos me dicen, me recuerda a mi mamá.
She says, a lot of people tell me you remind me of my mom who's no longer with us, or you remind me of my aunt. She used to cook like that.
I'd like to keep growing. Yeah, I feel like she deserves it. She's been working her whole life.
So far, Hernandez has recorded more than 150 videos and has no plans to slow down, even accepting requests from her followers, like this molcajete, which, by the way, was delicious, delivering good eats and hope to those watching that they can follow along and do it too. After all, the most important ingredient is immeasurable and free.
Cocínenlo con gusto y les va a quedar más bueno.
If you cook it with joy, it'll taste better.